Right, okay, so I'm at the position now where I'm ready to start changing the belts. Now I'm not going to go into how I've taken off the cover plate, the intercooler pipe, the hard elbow, and the airbox. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Pretty much anyone who's going to do this kind of work should be able to do that. One thing of note is these clips on the airbox pipes are a right pain. Everyone knows that. This little, I don't know, 50p little quick clamp, put it over there, and then just crank on it. And I found that this, oh, I can't even, there you go. This just slowly but surely just cranks them open and keeps them open. So that was a genius sort of, well, I'm not going to take credit for it, but I just had a play with what I had to do it. So anyway, so to the point, underneath the air pump here is the adjuster bolt, okay, that locks. So slack that off. I slacked off just the pivot bolt at the top, just so it's easier for it just to swing down. Then you've got the alternator, oh there we go, alternator locking bolt, and the adjuster bolt behind it. So I've just done those, so that belt is now slack as you like. And then for the front belt, this socket's actually on it at the moment. Let's get out of the way. So this is the idler pulley, and then you've got the it's a 10mm bolt on top, which you just crank to wind the idler pulley up, which then gives you loads of slack on this belt. So yeah, that's the bits that's required to slack off. So I'll take the belts off now and then show you when they're both off. But already, before I've touched anything, I've just double checked the belts I got from Essex Rotary, which I knew would be fine. I just double checked them by, let me show that, by just offering them up to make sure they're the right size, and what's on the inside is the same number of grooves. I did that for both belts. Easy as that, blink of the eye for you lot. So you've got some degreaser in some of these fuel absorbent mats, which I think works really well. So degreaser breaks up all the grime, and the absorbent mat just literally locks it in. So I've gone around there, wiped everything down that I could, wipe over everything that's yeah, needs a bit of a clean. The airbox has been taken off and obviously given a nice degrease and a clean as well to make sure it's good. So now the cleaning's done, I'm going to stick the belts back on. So the belts went on okay. The first belt was the one at the back, which is the air pump. That was a bit tight, so obviously I leant on the alternator to get it down as far as I could, and on this one I pushed it as hard as I could down the bottom there, but I still had to I worked it onto this one, and then as I kind of gave it a spin just to wind itself on. So then once it was on, I made sure it was all nice, lined up all the way around. I pulled this one up as much as I could, the air pump, and tightened that one down, and then tightened back up the pivot that I undid. And then the alternator, obviously I wound it down. It's pretty much, not quite maxed out, but it's pretty much up the top there now. So when I lined up those belts next to each other, this one was slightly longer than the one that was on there. Not by a lot, but obviously when that turns into an adjustment, makes a difference. And then, yeah, the second belt actually was really quite tight, so all I did was wound up the idler pulley, pretty much all the way up, and it went on fine, and then just wind it back down. So now I've got, you can see down there, just about sort of 45-degree turn, and on here, yeah, you see, sorry, my hand's in the way. See, yeah, so they're good. Yeah, so there I'll start putting the thing back together now with the airbox. Well, I'll put the intercooler pipes and everything, and then the airbox. And hey, yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going to put this section of video into the process that I'm doing right now, but I've just taken off this. It's the intake elbow that goes from the intercooler. When you see the inside, I saw it. I thought, oh my god, I've got to take it off because it's full of crap. That was all oil residue, but it's not. That is the casting. That's how the plastic's laid up, so it's actually clean. Well, I'm sure there's some residue in there, but I thought, oh my god, that's a really bad sign. So just in case you get a peek up the end, you think, oh yeah, look at that, but it's just a plastic casting. Phew. And just arrived my air filter. So take it out of the bag, do it one-handed. There we go. So it's just a blueprint one. It's exactly the same as what was in there. Yeah, I know there's more expensive ones and ones that people say were better, but I've been running on a standard blueprint for the last several years, and the car's absolutely fine. So yeah, I'll pop it back in and then put the hoses back on and show you it all buttoned up. Right, so before I put the airbox back in, I gave it a complete degrease, a thorough clean, washed it off and dried it, same as the top section, because there was a bit of oil residue and a bit of general mank and stuff in there. And you can see now, completely clean, but it's not, it's just a bit, not in the best condition, so I'm going to give it a bit of a plastic restore. Same as the old elbow for the intake, that's been completely degreased when I thought the inside was bad. So I'm going to give it a bit of a dry off. Oh, there's a bit of drip there. Clean off and then some plastic restorer, see how it comes up. It's not very exciting, but there you go, that's the end of that job now. So the air filter's back in, box is back on. These are the clamps I wanted to use. I didn't have one the other day, I borrowed one. For these fittings, these clips. Really easy once you get them on, just clamp them up nice and tight. And then obviously because they lock, you can just leave it open while you position the pipe back on and just release it and lets the pipe clamp go. So there we go, everything is as it's supposed to be. So I'll put that front plate back on down there. It's only got a couple of 10mm bolts in it, and then give it a fire up. And well, I've already run it since I've changed the belts. Well, I'll just do a check fire, and there we go.